cold out there today. I don't have microphone. Actually, I have four, but I don't have the adapters for these cameras. It's pathetic. I have a bag that's filled with old cables and things like that have belonged to other pieces of electronic hardware over the years. I keep stuff like that, but I cannot for the life of me remember what I did with the adapter. So now we're just going to have to get a new one, but I can still do this. Welcome to Martin Luther King Day, January 20th, 2025, which also falls in the same time as Inauguration Day. So it's an exciting day in DC, and it is really cold. It really is cold. I know that most of the festivities and the activities were moved indoors, and I mean that's a topic for another time, about whether that was security minded or the weather was a really good plausible excuse to use to move things indoors. Everybody likes a parade. Everything has to be modified, but I've talked about having a plan, right? It's crisis management. Something happens and you have a big event. You have a big sale, something happens. So this plays into that topic from last week. I did not post any other videos. My sinus is a little clogged up today. It's just too much going on. And I'm still preparing 2 other videos that I'm going to upload. Thank you for being here today. My name is still Margarita Emanuele, and my company is Emanuele Consulting. I'm based out of Washington, D.C., and I'm just going to rant today. I have some interesting stuff that I'd like to share with you. A little bit of music for you. This is a good platform. I'm still playing with it. I need to get more experience. So the big ban on TikTok that everybody is freaking out about, it still plays into the topic of you have to be prepared for anything. What about all the people who ran 100% of their businesses on TikTok? Is that your only platform? And don't have the ability to shift from that platform, because that's where all the money comes through, to a secondary platform, or at least have a plan to redirect sales and revenue flow. So however they worked it out, luckily it's going to be reversed. But what I would go after mostly, it's not just the platform, is really the algorithm. The algorithm, if you're in business and you really want to promote yourself. I am not on TikTok, by the way. I'm considering it. Like, do I say yes to the ring or to the app? It was all about security of data. And I know our data is often not really secure. Generally speaking, our data can be compromised at any time. And it really doesn't matter. It's just a Chinese product, and I just hands down have experiences with cyber attacks and just having to get these texts from Chinese companies that I don't do business with, or some Russian vendor, and I've never heard of them, but they're reaching my phone. So do I really want to open that portal into cyber hell? And the answer has been no. But the algorithm is the one thing that the other platforms haven't been able to create. So whatever deals are going to be made here in the seat of power regarding TikTok, I'm looking forward to hearing how they're going to work that out. It's not just buying it, so it's a company that's US based that owns the chunk of TikTok that works for the US. But that algorithm is the one thing that I'm sure the purveyors of this app are guarding really heavy duty right now, because that's really the pot of gold, is being able to pinpoint exactly how they worked out the algorithm, so you can target your audience better than you do on any other platforms, including this one. It could be a Rumble or YouTube. It could be on my Facebook right now or Instagram, and it really doesn't matter. So it shall prove interesting. I'm just gonna sit on the fence and watch to see where that goes. So I may say yes to that wondering. Um, so talking about security breaches and online scams. Um, the online scams are kicking up again. We have fires, we have disasters, terrorism. You're always going to get someone who's going to capitalize on that. I'm not going to share my screen today because there's too many moving parts. And I'm drinking coffee, and I invited you for coffee, and I'm going to enjoy some of that almond croissant that I bought. It's a holiday, so I can have it. I can have that today, not tomorrow. Um, the the scams are really going high tech or high stakes um, tactics because not only like in California they have the LA fires. Um, they got these guys that are highly organized. They bought a used refurbished a fire truck to gain access to areas and some old equipment that make them look like at a glance they look like firemen and they're not, to gain access to areas that have not been completely destroyed by the fires and proceed to conduct burglaries. It's pretty, not the most sophisticated thing, but it works. And since there's so much chaos going on in LA right now, it's not hard to pull off a scam. Now the local government, they're doing these press conferences, warning anyone who wants to pull off scams like those, not to try them. But it's how big is your department? How big is your machine, investigative machine to be able to pursue all these investigations? Not just the fire side of it, but on any of the other criminal activity. Same thing with the FBI. These agencies, they don't have enough people. I'll tell you right off the bat, they don't have enough people to handle everything that you report. Um, Online scams. I wanted to touch on one recently that a woman in France got taken in by an AI generated Brad Pitt, and she's definitely in that age, not ancient, but she's the over 50 crowd. Um, the time came from wealth, and she's not enjoying wealth or mental health right now. Um, and then, of course, when she went public with her story, that she thought that Brad Pitt actually was suing her. And this is a classic online Nigerian prince type scam, but it only has Brad Pitt's AI generated face. I've seen some of the AI generated imagery, and they're not that good. But I think most of us can create something reasonable, a reasonable facsimile of someone we want to introduce to someone else in order to deceive them. And you can probably even study if you do AI, anything with AI, you probably notice where the images came from, which one of the platforms was created on, because each AI is going to have its own signature. They create human imagery differently. Um, she got a lot of backlash from the public. No, not very bright, but also not deserving of the kind of hate that came her way. Um, so going public is always something most people they're older, they're lonely, whatever their circumstances are, and they don't come forward. And this is probably one of those reasons why they don't come forward. This lady's actually in a mental health facility now. She started to commit suicide. This is pretty serious, and that how much information we put out on the web, how much do we want to share ourselves? And if you're not used to doing it, you're just now starting, not trying to deter you from going online and expanding your brand, but you have to be cautious how you do it and how much you share. What would be appropriate, and under what circumstances to share with anyone that you don't know personally, having your life face to face, tell them about how much money you have or what kind of assets you own, that sort of thing. That lots of people make their fame and fortune by doing just that. But this person is just looking for company, looking for a companion, and it is pretty sad. And this is usually a multi-pronged attack. Like they have the one person came to her as disguised as the mother of Brad Pitt. We don't even know. They research her name and create her fake account, and this person is not even aware that this is not Brad Pitt's mother. Um, to the point where the star even has had to come out and express his sincere uh, sadness and compassion for this person because she was taken in by thieves. How do you get your money back? So that's going to be really hard to investigate and to prosecute. So keep your money. You're the only one who can keep your affairs in order and your information safe by not disclosing it. The whole debacle about drones, and today the order from the president that the border is going to be shut down, and there's going to be some shifts in law enforcement and crime in general, some patterns of movement that are worthy of observation in the areas wherever you live. Um, just not just for public safety, but also for your business, and that you should be mindful of who's coming out looking for services or an ability to do business with you, and how can the situation actually stop you from continuing services without interruption. It could be a manufacturer, like I said last week, or a supplier. There's something that you're importing that's going to affect. You're going to have to be able to figure out, come up with a plan how that's going to work. The the whole story, and this is a personal rant. The whole story about the drones, and I keep mentioning that national security considerations. Uh, Having a strong economy is part of a solid national security uh, position, and every small business should be able to have a more sophisticated plan on how to continue to pump those dollars into the economy, maintain jobs and that sort of thing, because and produce products and services, because you can't stop dead on your tracks just because something happens. And this is natural, it's human nature, but we still have to be able to work against that urge to stopping and just basically live in fear and not take action. So I started out with a little bit of kind of a joke. It's more of a rant that um, we should be exercising more caution about the kind of information we put out. But going back to the drones seem like they took a vacation. That's pretty strange. Some of the talks in some of the other channels online about how uh, there's a possibility of it's either that we're looking, those drones are ours, and we're looking for nuclear uh, signals, maybe a weapon stolen, something of a movie. It's just too much information out there to actually make a good conclusion. The most probably could be that there was a downed satellite, and then the Chinese are locally deploying drones to be able to cover certain areas that the satellite was covering. And if that's true, we're going to be seeing some serious action from the U.S. government moving forward, because that's definitely violation of our space, and we shall see where that goes. But it's worthy of mention that we're facing some interesting times, coming from the times of the Cold War. Having served in the military during the Cold War, I used to say, well, I don't want to go into the Great Wall of China. I spent some time in Hong Kong. Just a quick anecdote. And I was terrified to get off the ship. And I mean, I went out into town to shop and all that, like old girls do. But I just did not want to take that tour of the Great Wall. Some of the people on my ship did. First thing I thought was that's in communist China. Why wouldn't I want to go there? And so the story goes. Pardon for the background entertaining. I'm on a regular EMS route, so that's unavailable. Uh, don't get too bogged down by 2025 starting out on such a serious note, because I believe that there should always be hope that we can overcome a lot of the obstacles we have been hitting for the past few years. when it comes to security, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to starting businesses and securing them, and just securing a future for ourselves and for our families. And I just want to share a little bit of coffee with you. It's getting a little cold now. No, not a very serious post today. Just wanted to. I wanted to go online a little bit earlier, but on account there's a change of power in DC. There was no way that I could possibly beat that, even going live. So I'll do it now because it's nice, quiet afternoon now. And as the sun goes down, we start the inaugural balls and all the parties. I'm downtown. I'm far away from that. It's much quieter here, but that's basically a day in DC after the inauguration, and I'll be seeing you again soon with a little bit more structure. Unless you hate the PowerPoint, at which point I suppose I should start phasing them out. Have mercy. I come from a military background, and I've worked as an analyst, so I'm used to briefing VIPs. You are my VIP, so I really appreciate you being here today. I hope I was even mildly entertaining today. There was another fire engine. Stay away from the scams. I will do a video that's more in depth about scams and how they operate. I'm sure this is something that you've probably heard before, but it bears repeating because people who are pretty smart still fall for these things. And I think the big targeted demographics is usually women, but men suffer as well. Men often find themselves looking for companionship and friendship online, and what they find is really someone that's looking to tap them dry of all their money and their assets. And I'm gonna sign off again. Thank you for joining me for my coffee. Cheers on Inauguration Day. Enjoy the rest of your holiday, and I hope to see you again pretty soon. And before you go, please, if you can help me out, click on like and subscribe. That way, the next time I post new content, you'll be the first one to know, and you'll be supporting a new channel. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for showing up.